Okay, I've got another game from you for the FIDE World Cup, from the Women's World Cup. We have Nurgyul Saliva of Bulgaria. She has been just playing incredible chess. She is not one of the top seeds in this contest, the FIDE World Cup, but she has been just kind of destroying people, just kicking butt and taking names. And she faced off at a near grandmaster, this Russian-born Paulina Solilova, who is a near grandmaster in her own right. She is an international master and women grandmaster, and so is Salimova. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into the game. Salimova is playing the black pieces against Paulina playing the white, and we have. Let's actually back up here. Pretty crazy opening here. I probably shouldn't show this to my students. So we have knight to f6 here attacking the pawn, and bishop to c4 here attacking f1. And Salimova plays the surprising knight captures on e4. And the thing is, if knight captures back, then we have this nice little fork with the queen forking the bishop and the knight, and you win your knight back. So as I said, I shouldn't show this to my students because we have queen to h5 here, threatening kind of like a 4-move checkmate threat. And I say this, I don't recommend my students play like this because you're not supposed to have your queen out early, but this is a crazy game. This is called the Frankenstein-Dracula variation. And it is declined here as we have the knight dropping back to d6, defending f7 and simultaneously attacking the bishop there on c4. The bishop backs up to b3, and now we have bishop to e7 by Salimova. Queen captures on e5 by Paulina, and yeah, you know, this is the best possible move in the position, but it is lining up the king and queen, which could become dangerous. We have castles by Salimova. This is the best move in the position, defending that besieged g7 pawn, and now Paulina develops her knight to f3. So Paulina has 3 pieces and her queen developed, so this kind of looks a bit scary for Salimova, but we'll go ahead and continue here. We have bishop to f6. This is being called an inaccuracy here. You can see it's suggesting knight to c6 would be a better move, attacking the queen that way. But as I said, I think Salimova wanted to get her rook over here and line up with the queen and king. This would, you know, Paulina would lose her queen if this was possible. We have queen back to f4 by white, and now Salimova does move her rook to e8. We have king to f1, so Paulina now loses her ability to castle, and it's going to be pretty hard to get this other rook into the game. We definitely want to castle in most situations, so I like Black's position. Oh, you can see the times down here. So they've used quite a bit of their clock time. They started out with 90 minutes on their clock, and yeah, they're already down to like 20 minutes now for Nurgyul, and 24 minutes for the Russian Grandmaster. We now have pawn to a4, kind of a hard move to see, maybe going after that bishop there, although it's going to need more help before it can advance since we have so many pieces controlling that square. But this is the best possible move in the position for Black. We have pawn to a4 now by white, again the best possible move, and now knight to c6 by Salimova. We have knight to d5 by white, attacking the bishop, and Salimova doesn't want to lose the bishop in that way, so she plays bishop to e5. We have knight captures e5 by Paulina, and rook captures e5 by Salimova, kind of activating that piece. This is the best possible move in the position. And now pawn to d3, also the best possible move. Knight now to f5. By the way, these players both played an incredibly accurate game here. Salimova played over 91% accuracy here. So we have knight to f5 by Salimova, and now pawn to c3. This is the only move that really works in the position. And now we have pawn to d6 by Salimova. And again, this is the best move that the engines can find. We have pawn now to d4, and that was the point of the c3 move earlier, just to protect that pawn so that one of the knights doesn't capture it, and it's able to kick the rook. We have rook back to e8, best possible move, and now pawn to g4, being called an inaccuracy, saying instead the bishop should have been moved to d2, but we'll go ahead and continue. We have knight to h4 by Salimova, and now knight back to e3 by Paulina. Queen now to e7, being called an accuracy. So not a mistake or anything. It's just not the best move in the position. It's saying actually king to h8 would have been a better way to play here, but we'll go ahead and continue. Don't worry, Nurgyul will do fine. We have bishop to d2 being called a mistake, saying instead the rook should have came to g2, or g1, excuse me. Now Salimova goes ahead and plays the move. It's kind of a surprising move. Pawn to g5, attacking the queen, but also kind of opening up the king, seemingly. It seems like the king is going to be easier to attack, but as it turns out, the king will be just fine. Queen back to g3 by Paulina, and we have queen to e4 by Salimova, attacking the unprotected rook here. And now we have rook to g1. This is being called a mistake. Instead, the bishop should have came here, defended by the knight, and things would have been better for white, although black is totally winning this position now, and especially after this move. Salimova now plays queen to d3 check, and we have the forced move king to e1. That was the only move that works here, and now Salimova goes ahead and grabs the pawn here, as if the pawn captures, well, this bishop is a loose piece. So you always want to keep in mind checks, captures, and loose pieces. And Paulina finds the best possible move. The bishop was going to be hanging anyway, so bishop captures f7 is the best move, sacrificing that bishop for the pawn and seemingly opening Nurgyul's king up for attack. And now Paulina grabs a knight with pawn captures on d4. We have pawn to b6 by Salimova, the best possible move in the position. And now rook to c1 by Paulina. Bishop now to a6, the best possible move in the position, which is surprising. You wouldn't think that this is okay, just allowing the rook to capture here, but somehow Salimova realizes it's okay. Both players, by the way, are down to very little time. 5 minutes on the clock, roughly. 4 minutes for Salimova, 5.5 minutes for Paulina. Rook captures on c7 as we expected, and the king just steps back to g8 calmly. And yeah, this looks like a very dangerous position here. By the way, Salimova played this game at an ElO of 30-50. Both players played a very strong game, as Paulina played at 26-50, but not enough to beat an incredible performance by Salimova. We now have king to d1 by Paulina. This is the best possible move in the position, as there was some nastiness coming in here, or here, well, mate just right there. And now Salimova offers a trade of rooks with rook a to c8. We have knight to d5 by Paulina. This is not the best move, although it's not exactly, well, there's not many options really in this case. She's just totally losing. With this move, it's forced mate in 10 moves, says the computer. She should have instead played queen captures on d6, but we'll continue. We now have queen to b1 with check, bishop blocks on c1, and now rook captures rook on c7 by Salimova. Knight captures, forking the bishop and the rook, but we have bishop to e2 by Salimova. And again, so this is not the best possible move in the position, but Nurgyul is down to 25 seconds on her clock, and she's not going to get more time on her clock until she gets to move 40. And this is just move 29. They're move 29, and Salimova is really short on time, so she did not find the strongest move in the position. Then the rook wouldn't have been able to be captured if bishop here, because it would have forced checkmate in 2 moves. So that's why this bishop to d3 would have been a better move. We have king to d2 by Paulina, and now the incredible knight to f3 check, or just very strong move. And the queen is really forced to capture. This is going to lead to checkmate, and of course she picks up the knight, and she's going to be able to pick up the rook here. So that's the idea behind that move. We have bishop captures queen on f3, and now knight captures on e8 as mentioned. And now bishop back to c6, attacking the knight. The knight grabs the pawn on d6, and Salimova grabs the pawn on a4. We have king to e3, best possible move in the position. Down to 3.5 minutes is Paulina, and she's got to make an additional 6 moves to get her time on the clock. I think she gets like a half hour, or no, maybe it's 40 minutes. No, anyway, she gets a bunch more time if she's going to make it to move 40, although that's not really going to matter here. We have queen to c2 by Salimova, best possible move, and now knight to e4 by Paulina. Bishop now to c6, attacking that knight with 2 pieces, threatening to capture, and now knight to c3. We now have pawn to b5 with just 22 seconds on the clock for Salimova. Pawn to d5, attacking the bishop. Bishop backs back to b7, and now knight captures on b5 by Paulina, and she's now down to 38 seconds on her clock, and they still have 2 more moves to make before time controls. Queen to c5 by Salimova, and now knight to d4, best possible move in the position, although it's pretty hard to play from her perspective. We now have queen captures on d5 by Salimova, and now rook to d1. Salimova plays queen to e4, and Paulina resigns the game. She's only got 14 seconds on her clock. She is at move 40, so if she made another move, she would get her time, her additional time. The trouble is, the only move she has is king to d2. Then the queen is going to capture the knight with check, and she can just kind of harass her. Nurgyul can harass Paulina and pick up the rest of the pieces and just kind of totally dominate the game. So it does make sense that Paulina did resign the game here, and Nurgyul goes on to face Grandmaster Anna Muzychuk. So Anna Muzychuk, a full Grandmaster, not a woman Grandmaster, a full Grandmaster. And actually, they already played the one game yesterday. So Anna and Nurgyul played this incredible game. It ended up going to a draw, but I just want to show you, they played at near perfect game. 98.8% accuracy for Anna Muzychuk, and Nurgyul played at 99.6. So, and it ended up being a draw. Pretty incredible. So these two women played like grandmaster computers in this game. Just incredible performance between the two of them. They are playing again today, and if there is a decisive, if that game is decisive, I will definitely cover it. So yeah, incredible performance by these two ladies. So Paulina played at 2650, so grandmaster performance, but Nurgyul Saliva played at 3050 performance and over 91% accuracy. Pretty incredible stuff. Anyway, thank you for joining me for that. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, as I will be posting more of these games from the FIDE World Cup. Also, I am teaching group classes. Well, I teach individual classes as well, but I have a special right now for youth. It's group classes, unlimited classes through September 30th for just $99. You can do as many as 5 classes a week, although I have some strange times because I'm trying to accommodate kids all over the world. But yeah, please join me. We do tactics, we do game reviews together, reviews of the students' games, reviews of Grandmaster games, different checkmate patterns. The second half of the class, we're actually just playing chess with each other. So we have live chess through lightchess.org, where we battle it out and we talk about those games. Anyway, I will leave a link in the description if you want to join Legendary Chess Club. If you want to join the Legendary Chess Club and take those classes, or your students or your kids want to take those classes, the links will be in the description. Anyway, thank you, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.